Good morning. My name is Mark Cabrera. I'm here to discuss with you multiple revenue stream. Mastering yourself. This is basically where it boils down to. Learn to be disciplined. One thing I can tell you, people want to succeed in this business and they want to actually get this, understand this revenue stream and all that stuff. This stuff is not going to help you if you're not disciplined enough to show up. Be present on the things that matters to you. If real estate matters to you, be there when you say you're going to be there. Be there at appointments when you're supposed to. Be there on your appointments to yourself, even when you're not on the top of, or your game in terms of your health or whatever. I mean, I've shown up to coaching sessions at 7 to 9 a.m. and I'm like completely in bed sick, I don't put on my video thing on Zoom, but like, yeah, like rah, 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 keeping everybody actually excited about everything. But man, I'm like miserable inside, but that's what it takes. Discipline is the consistency that you put into your business, even if you don't feel like it. Because not every day you will feel like working. Not every day you feel like you want to actually do certain things. Not every day you feel like making prospecting call, right? So short-term sacrifice for long-term gain. This is what we call delayed gratification. Welcome to the business of real estate. We are all about delayed gratification because whatever you do now, you won't actually feel it until 3 months from now. You don't do anything, you're unemployed from now to 3 months from now. And then after that too, another 3 months before you start making money. So if you want to start making money now, then you should actually do prospecting now. You should actually be able to have appointments now. One thing I can tell you, set definite set definite productive activities on a weekly basis. One of the things I set for myself this week, which like I told you, I'm ramping back up, is 5 appointments every week. 5 appointments. I start small and I work my way through the process. Just like anything else that I wanted to achieve. Like 3 months ago, I wanted to lose 20 pounds in 1 month. Well, I hit that goal in 1 month. I lost 20 pounds and 13 pounds of fat and like 500 calories a day. Ridiculous. But that's what I want. So this morning, I stepped in on my weighing scale. I'm actually even 3 pounds lighter than I was like 3 months ago, which I know I can maintain it now. See, the biggest problem most people have, they lose the weight so fast and they gain the weight so much more afterwards, right? But it's the discipline. It's the whole idea that I sacrificed that 1 month that I actually did that thing that I was doing to lose that weight to actually have a gratification of being able to see my six-pack on a freaking, like, yeah, that's me, man. I love you, man. I love you. And you know why you want to actually do that? Is because you want to, number one, if you want people to love you, you have to love yourself. If you want people to respect you, you have to respect yourself. If you want people to look at you as a professional, then behave like a professional and have that confidence as a professional, because people buy into confidence. We are not selling houses. I keep telling you guys this, and please, when people ask you, oh, how is the market? People always ask this question when you're in real estate, like, oh, you're in real estate, how's the market? I mean, it's like a natural thing that just spits out of their mouth, like, how's the market? And I'm like, okay, it's, what I would answer on that question, how's the market? My answer to them is, what are you looking for in the market? Huh? What are you looking for in the market? Oh, okay, you're looking for what, an up market, a down market, going sideways a market? What kind of market are you looking for? Because I can tell you right now, whatever market that you're looking for, it's still out there. The only question is, are you ready for it? Because what does it matter if I answer your question, right? If the answer to your question doesn't actually create anything more than how's the weather out there? That's essentially what that person is asking, right? But when you ask these questions, like specifically, like, what are you looking for in the market? Oh, I'm looking for the market to crash. Great. So what exactly are you looking to do? Oh, I'm looking for investment properties where I can actually flip houses. Great. We don't have to wait for a market like that. We can already take advantage of that market of what we have right now and pick up properties that are actually below market value and resell it afterwards. Oh, I'm looking to rent out my properties because I think the market is down. So it depends on what you're trying to accomplish, right? Exude confidence. Have integrity within yourself. This is stuff that you actually need to look into. Lead by example. If you're going to be growing, eventually you're going to have a team. Before you actually get into the multiple level stream, make sure your single level of stream is already producing at least 12 transactions a month. See, people want to actually know about this multiple revenue stream, but they haven't even mastered one of the revenue stream. You need to at least figure out how to actually make money on one. And even on one, you can make $300,000-$400,000 a year, or even $500,000 actually on one revenue stream. Only delegate what you know how to do first. That's what you should delegate first. And no excuses, and hold yourself accountable. These are the things that are actually what is needed for this multiple level stream. Multiple revenue stream. Now, mastering how to work. Learn to plan and execute the plan. I don't know how many of you guys have written plans, but if you don't, you're actually having a boat in the middle of the lake that you don't have any paddle. You're hoping to get to the shore somehow. It's like, oh, please, let me use my hand here, Before you actually even get into the boat, make sure you have a plan on what you're planning on doing. You're planning on fishing, make sure you have your fishing rod. You're planning on actually rowing to the middle of the water, then have your paddles ready. Or you want to actually use one of those motorboat kind of thing, motors, perfectly fine. Have a plan. And if I were you, I would write the plan, because your plan is not based on your mood. Okay, so if you don't feel like it today, I'm not going to do it, because you don't have anything in writing. So your plan is just constantly changing in your head, saying, oh, today I'm not going to do anything good. I'm going to wake up at 12 o'clock because that's my plan as of last night. But 2 days before that, your plan was to wake up at 6 in the morning. So the biggest problem most people have is they have plans, but they don't write it down to make it concrete. See, I express it out to people what I'm planning on doing. The reason why is because I feel like I'm going to get embarrassed if I didn't later on. So then now I actually burn my ship, and I'm going at what I'm trying to do. Don't be reactive, and be proactive. This is another thing that you got to think about, because without a plan, what you're going to have is reaction to whatever's out there at you. So what happens? You're full of distraction throughout the day. At the end of the day, it's like, oh, what did I accomplish? Oh, I went through Facebook. Oh, great. Oh, I went through this. And in the end, it's nothing productive, nothing that actually brought income to your business. Learn all the technicals of your work. This is mastery. What I'm saying that is because a lot of times we just want to wing it. Well, one thing is to wing it, and another thing is to take classes and really learn your trade. This is the basic that you're going to need to know. The best way to teach what you've learned. The best way is to teach what you've learned. So when you're looking at it from learning, when you start talking to someone else about it and start explaining it to another person, you're going to need to know your subject. And that's where you become a master at that particular subject area when you're trying to learn. It's much easier to learn when you have to actually teach it to someone, because you're paying more attention to it. Manage things and lead people. This is basically the basic of everything that we're doing to get to the point where your multiple revenue stream is going to work, because we got to focus on one, like I was telling you, and these are the things that's necessary to actually master one. Focus only on 3 tasks at a time, no more. Take action within 5 seconds of any hesitation. There's a lot of times you're going to run into situations where you feel like you don't want to do it because you're uncomfortable. Well, you have to fight 5 seconds to be able to act on it, because your brain will work your way through. It will work its way through not to do whatever task you're trying to do. So when you have any hesitation to make a phone call, just start picking up the phone, start dialing, and then start having that phone ring. The reason why you want to do that is because you want to make sure that the person picks up the phone or leaves, or the voicemail picks up, so then you don't have a choice now but to leave a message or to talk to that individual. Force yourself to move things along when you're uncomfortable, because you have a set of plans and you have to execute it no matter what. Because if you were to succeed in this business, it's because of the fact that you made it a priority. And think about this. There's 2 ways to look at it. If your motivation is to bring income home and change your lifestyle, right? Think about every single day that you don't spend time with that person that you care about, and think about what you're doing and not spending time with them. whereas you could be spending time with them instead of working. Believe me, if the choices are that I don't have to work and I spend time with my kids and my wife, I would do it all day long. But if I have to work because I want to achieve certain things, then I would need to make that a priority and minimize the amount of work that I have to do based on the plans that I put together, which means I have a huge amount of plans, right? I'm going to truncate my time. And I can tell you one thing, the best years I've had in my business that I made the most money is the most vacations I've taken as well. The reason why is because those days that you're actually in town becomes more and more efficient because you only have a certain amount of time before you go on your next vacation. So having vacations to me is as important as having work. So if you're actually going to just be working your butt off, eventually you're going to burn out of the business. But if you work hard and you have a particular date that you're going to set for yourself to take a vacation to reward yourself, well, that part is anticipatory and you have a certain amount of time to get things done and you will do it because you only have a certain time. Because there's a deadline that you set for yourself. That's why those years that took the most vacations are the most money I've actually made in the business. Is because I had deadlines before I go on vacation that I took care of everybody. So that's another thing. The approach to revenue stream. Focus on one task at a time, master one revenue stream first, like we talked about, and document your process. Simplicity is key. Document your process. The reason why is if you're going to get into multiple revenue stream, once you've mastered it, somebody has to be able to duplicate it. You have to be able to duplicate yourself. Because if you're doing 7, 8 revenue streams like the way I'm doing right now, I swear to you, I won't be able to do it by myself. I would actually have others doing certain things, and I'm only doing the most critical parts of each of the 7 or 8 different revenue streams. The reason why we were building up to this point, maybe you're wondering like, oh, why is not Mark actually just saying the multiple revenue stream right away? Was because you're not going to be doing all 7 or 8 or whatever amount of revenue stream you're doing. You're going to be setting up processes for others to be able to do the majority of it, 80% of the 7 or 8 revenue stream that you're looking at, and then you're focusing on making sure that you grow it, you maintain it, and you grow it. And that's your part of the business. You're part of each of the business that you're doing. Your job is to set up processes and actually make sure the processes are working and adjust those processes to make it work even better. So this is something that I would highly recommend doing. Now we're getting here. Types of revenue stream source. You have residential, you have commercial. Everybody pretty much knows this, right? You have listings, you have buyers or sales, you have rental listings, or you have renters that actually want to rent properties. You have property or project management. Property management is basically you're looking at property management, rental properties that you're managing for other clients that you have. And then you have project management. Project management are for investors that you're managing their project. I charge $10,000 per project for my investor. I charge a flat fee, 10 grand to manage your project. So put me on your bottom number, and you don't have to touch a single thing on that. You don't have to touch a single screw or screwdriver to actually fix that darn thing. I do everything myself. When I say myself, I don't do the project. I manage a project. So I hire the contractors, make sure that it's being done on time and delivered to my investors. This is the way I look at it. So you got the project management, you got the property management, which I'm managing properties myself, and I've been doing it for many years. I used to manage 54 properties for my mentor when I first started in the business. Actually, 4 years after I started in the business, I became a buyer's agent or a mentee to a producing agent, and I managed 54 of his properties, and that's what I used to do. So I'm very familiar with property management. And then you have the niche for areas where foreclosures, short sales, bankruptcy, divorce, probate, trust. The best part people don't realize, divorce is the best one, because you got 3 properties, maybe 2 rental properties and 1 sale. Or if everybody agrees that they want to move and you actually get along with everyone, just don't take sides. Make sure you're actually like balancing this thing up properly, that you're friends with both husband and wife who's actually getting divorced. Or for me, I would rather have them together if they're happy. But sometimes I see them like, oh my gosh, I mean, they're about to actually like hang each other, so it's better to kind of work their way through. So as a matter of fact, I have clients right now. I'm dealing with the divorce scenario where they actually would need to sell the house, and I think the wife wants to buy a bigger house and the husband wants to rent. So I got 3 transactions out of it. And then you have probate, people passing away, inheriting properties. I have those type of people as well, and clients as well. And then we have the trust, where people build like portfolios for investments for their children, right? That's something you can implant in someone's brain when they're actually like all like giddy up about their career, and they're like, oh my gosh, I want to give something to my children. Let's set up a trust. Let's buy several properties, not just one, several properties for your kids, and we set it up in a certain way that they can get the property and minimize your tax. I know this tax accountant who actually can do that, right? So this is the kind of things that you can do in our business. You got investment flips. I call them recyclable clients, because you can recycle them over and over and over. You actually have a client, buys a house from you, make money, sell the house from you, make money, and do it again, do it 4 times a year. I mean, you can literally make a living doing this. I have a gentleman that I met in Las Vegas. He was number 1 or number 2 for the whole Remax and Tal Remax. We might be making $3 million individually. He only sells about 8 to 10 houses a year. He made like $3 million. And I told him, how do you make that kind of money with 8, 9 drugs? And he's like, oh, one day I was doing an open house and I met this guy who's from Russia, and he's one of the oligarchs I didn't even know. So he decided he wants to buy this one listing he had for $1.5 million. And then from there, basically, he bought another house. And then his friends actually started introducing me to his friends. So we started buying houses here and there. And next thing you know, I'm selling houses to all these oligarchs. And they buy them. And then after like 2 years or 1 year or 2 years, they sell them, like similar to, I guess, kind of cleaning up the money, where they're getting it from, I don't know. But something's going on over there. But hey, he's like, hey, I'm doing this very well. I'm actually making a lot of money doing this. So investment flips, investors are actually one of the best clients you get to work with. But just don't allow them to actually run you over and run you ragged, because sometimes people actually like, oh, I want this discount because you're going to be working with me a lot. And I'm like, come on. I mean, we only have to make money somewhere, Maybe I can manage your property for 10 grand, So then you don't have to touch anything. You just walk away with checks every time. So that's my approach to especially the busy ones. Have like investors or doctors are like investing in real estate. So that's one of the things I do with them. And then you have buy and holds. Buy and to hold, like rental properties, multiple rental properties, and eventually have them paid off. It's actually a good strategy for retirement, right? Because when you have paid off properties and you have plenty of them, then it's much easier for you to retire. You just collect your checks every month. So let's begin here